Welcome to The Breakthrough, where we talk with technology leaders about their successes, struggles, and everything in between. I'm Alison Dean, VP Operations at Theorem, and today we are talking with Tony Dottino, head of the Dottino Consulting Group and founder of the USA Memory Championship. He sent me his favorite quote from Leonardo da Vinci: "Everything is connected to everything else." So hello, Tony.
Hi, Alison. It is great to be a part of your podcast.
So I'd like to start off talking about what that quote means to you.
So when I first heard that quote, and I thought about, gee, it's an interesting thought to say, and everything connects to everything else. And it was my early stages at IBM where I began to do some work on process management and process innovation. Too often people talked about their unit, department, or job, and very few realized it was the whole string of how they all connected. And so I've used that as a kind of, I call a framework of thought, in that everything does connect to everything else. And how do you get people to operate in that fashion?
I love it. I love it. Okay, so while at IBM, obviously you touched many projects, many processes. I want to talk about some of the memorable ones for you and why they left an impression on you.
I was fortunate enough. I didn't think I was fortunate at the time, but again, I got put on this task force that was headed by a senior IT executive. And this IT executive taught me so much. And what his coaching was at the time, he said, Tony, what you have to realize in IT and in the world of applications and systems is it's very often good people trying to do good work that just don't have the right guidance in the right direction. And so they unconsciously and unwillingly make a lot of mistakes that cause systems not to do what they're supposed to do. And we can trace that back to the early stages of how requirements are laid out and how people have something in their head that they don't clearly spell out. And you've got somebody in on IT application programming sorting out what those requirements are and trying to fill in those blanks in the interpretation. So the conversion that you need to have is you need to get frontline people. This is my IBM system stuff. Frontline people really telling the boss, here's what I need from you to be able to get this to work.
Mm-hmm. Like you're talking right now and my mind is just going, oh my, I can only imagine. Yes, if all those things were all coming together at once. The podcast is called The Breakthrough. So can you speak about a breakthrough that you had recently?
When you're trying to change behavior, the breakthrough is you got to do it in little steps at a time. Because if we're going to take where we are today in a holistic way and try to change it because somebody gets on TV and says, rah, rah, let's go make these changes, it's not going to stick. And I'm sorry to say, I don't think we have many people in leadership today of any sort that really understand the psychology of bringing change into a culture unless you just slam dunk it and you stuff it down people's throats. And in my IBM experience, we had a few senior presidents that I had to interface with that were going to be, what do you mean I got to get people to whatever? I'm just going to tell them what they need to do and they damn well better listen. And what I've learned today is if you want to change a culture, that is not the way to do it. I've taught these principles to people and I've got over 25 years of experience of where the results are proven. What drives me crazy is when I share with people what these are, and I go back to them and say, so, hey, how did that work out? And people say to me, well, I didn't try it because I didn't think it was going to work. How the hell do you ever find out if something's going to work if you don't try it? So how do we take this and filter it down through and bring it forward to, can we make these little changes and begin to move the patterns and the thinking into a different direction?
Tony, this has been very engaging and I absolutely appreciate all of your incredible wisdom. So I thank you. Thank you for watching just a few of the highlights from this week's Breakthrough episode. To see the full podcast, click the link in the description below.